Anyway, we must get to our next guest. We've heard her music throughout the evening. LiLi Roquelin. I hope I pronounced it correctly. We will be right back, folks, after this brief timeout.
Si tu commences le matin en pensant ce jour n'a pas de fin, tu envies ceux qui sourient et seul tu te perds. Si tu songes à demain en accueillant ton destin, oublie ce qui t'anéantit et les mots amers. N'attends pas, la vie ne viendra pas à toi. Mais quand tu poursuis ce qui est au fond de toi, si tu te réveilles enfin en écoutant ton instinct, tu regardes ce qui t'inspire.
All right, Evan Ginzburg back with Legends Radio, and you've been listening to the beautiful music of LiLi Roquelin, and she is joining us right here on Legends Radio. How are you tonight?
I'm good. Thanks for having me, and thanks for playing my songs.
Oh, my pleasure. And that last song was in French, so why don't you translate a little for us? Well, what was that song?
Okay, so the title of the song was N'attends pas la vie, and earlier in the show, you actually played The Only One and Like a Feather. So N'attends pas la vie, it's actually on my album in both French and English, and so you know I can send you the English version at a later time for you to get it. But anyway, it means don't wait, don't wait in life. You should just take risks and not be afraid of anything, and just go for your dreams.
Absolutely. I totally agree. And I was in Paris 2 years ago, and what I noticed about the music was very interesting to me. You would have TV shows where you would have Afro pop, you would have jazz, you would have pop music, you would have, traditional French music with the accordions, all on the same show. If it was good, they played everything. In America, everything is so regimented. This is a rap station, this is a rock station. What's your take on that?
Yeah, they actually call that variété française. It means French variety. Yeah, they're very used to just mix up a bunch of, different sounds, and that doesn't bother them. That's true.
Yeah, I think they're much more open-minded about their music. And I was down in the subways, the metro in Paris, and they're playing beautiful music right in the subways. And besides being very clean, unlike New York, the subways.
That's true.
Besides being very clean, it seems that music is very important in France. That was my take anyway.
So, well, first of all, I'm from the south of France. So, I've been to Paris maybe 5 times. I think it's just a different kind of scene there. I still believe that they like to promote or, hire more like DJs rather than singer-songwriters and stuff like that. And they're more into playing covers. I think they don't support enough independent original music like they do here or in England, and that's one of the reasons why I was attracted, to come over here for, this kind of culture of, supporting creativity, and so yeah, it's just different, it is very entertaining, the kind of music they have in Paris and things like that, but it depends what you're looking for, I think.
Oh, that's great. And coming to New York, uh, as a singer who sings in English and French, what doors were opened or what was harder? It's very unique. We don't have a lot of French singers here in New York, at least not from my experience.
That's true. That's true. Well, actually, the interesting thing is that I moved, to the States because primarily I started writing in English. It just came naturally, probably from growing up with my father. That was a Beatles fan and a very fluent English speaking person. I just naturally decided to write in English. And when I moved to the States, I actually got requests of writing in French, which I had not done. So I actually started to write some songs in French here in the States. I know it sounds really funny, but so I think they really like hearing French, French songs, and I don't know. To me, it's just French. It's kind of buff. But I think that is a really cool thing. I got to actually learn to write in French. I think that is a really cool thing. I got to actually learn French to write on my records.
There you go. And Carmen M. Cologne, she was admiring your music earlier. Questions for Lily?
I love it because I took French in high school, although I wouldn't even begin to attempt having a conversation. It's been 30 years. But it's one of the most beautiful languages to listen to in music. It really is. And so it's a very just melodic and it just exudes this wonderful energy and this wonderful passionate sense of life in your songs, and I appreciate that very much.
Thank you so much. I think it seems to me a little bit more difficult to write in French than in English, because the French has got some tough syllabes and the R, it's just so much more rough. But it's always nice to hear, that it's appreciated, by other people, that speak different languages. Thank you.
Absolutely. So what is it about the U.S. that really stands out for you now that you're away from home?
In the U.S. as a musician?
Well, as a musician or as someone from another country, it's I'm sure it's just very, very different. But what are the things that are striking to you that tend to stand out when you think of, France versus U.S.?
Oh, well, I think the major difference, France is more about, fashion and food, which are, great things, of course, especially food.
Yes.
But then I think the U.S. is, I really appreciate the music culture over here. It's really special. I just like, even if I go on tour, perform in different states, each area has a different style of music, and I always go out and try to go listen to, to what kind of live music is in that region. And I think the variety of different styles, throughout the country, this is what really is really amazing here. It's very eclectic. I think I really appreciate that. It's really inspiring, too, especially as a songwriter. Because then, you're influenced by what you hear. Here in New York City, it's really great. We have music everywhere. You get to network. I found my cellist that performs with me live. I found him in the subway. I'm just a cello player, and it's not really to play with me. So I think this kind of stuff I think New York is amazing for that. It kind of, pushes people together to, to just do some projects and just create together, and I really like that.
That's wonderful. What I'm curious is, now that you've been here a while, what is the response back home now that you've, sort of had your mark on New York? I mean, is it different when you go back and visit?
Yes. You mean for me or for others?
For you. I mean, the allure of, wow, our Lily was in New York, and so do you find that you get a much larger audience back home now that you've been here?
I think that people in France, and I'm not sure about the other countries. I would have to ask the others. But I know that especially musicians in France, they're always impressed, and they really respect that when they see that, a young person just move on their own, to let the country so far and so tough. Because, it is known that the United States is not easy, to, especially New York, to succeed in. And so I think they respect that a lot. And it's true that there's a lot of perception.
Yes.
I am definitely, when I go perform in my hometown or, the towns around, definitely it's marketed in a way, this is LiLi Roquelin. She lives in New York. She's been in New York for, 6 years. And, she's coming for like a show. So definitely a perception always has an effect on people. And then they come to me and they come ask me, how is it there? All that kind of thing. So I definitely feel both French and American. Now, I think when I'm in France, they consider me more as an American. They even make fun of my French now, I guess, because I'm losing it a little bit.
You have a New York accent in French?
Apparently they say I have some kind of American accent when I speak in French, so that's really interesting.
Oh, my goodness.
And then over here, it's just the opposite. That every time I speak, it's like, so it's nice. I like being, half French, half American. It's really cool.
Yes. That's wonderful. So what places do you like to frequent in New York? Because I think New York has everything. But it would be interesting to know what someone from France would sort of gravitate to, especially when your music is amazingly lyrical. So I'm just curious, what are the places in New York that you'd like?
Yeah, I do like to perform a lot in Brooklyn. It's very, I think there's a lot of artists there now. When I moved to New York 6 years ago, I thought the Village was a little more like that, and I feel the Village is not that much, like artist-friendly as they used to. I know everybody says that. So I love going and perform in Brooklyn. I perform a lot of different places there, and I live in Astoria. And I really love Astoria. It's my favorite place for restaurants, and it is actually the place in the world that has the most variety of different cultures. I learned that from a sociologist that came to Astoria from Germany to study and just observe people. So that was really cool. And I think this is really that. I like the variety of different foods, European foods, and I always look for some French bakeries. So it's great that in New York I can find that kind of thing.
That's wonderful. Now, where can people go to hear your music? Because I see it on your website, but tell us how to reach you.
Yeah, definitely. So first of all, I have a newer record out. It's called Beautiful Sun. And it's available everywhere on iTunes, on Amazon, everything. And also I have a website with all that information and all my show dates. It's LiLiRoquelin.com, LiLiRoquelin.com. I know some people might have a hard time spelling the name. So if you remember that the first name is Lili, and then you try to put into Google R-O-C-K or R-O-K, R-O-2, sorry. It always comes up. Like I set it up to make sure people find me.
Good.
Yeah, I actually, I have a show this Saturday. I'm really, really excited about it. It's going to be in the East Village at Climat Lounge. It's 77 East 7th Street. So 7th Street by First Avenue in the East Village near St. Mark's. I'm going to perform with my band. I have a drummer that's actually Japanese, and I have my cello player, and, I sing and play the piano for my live show. So I'm really excited about the show. It's presented by the Set NYC. It starts at 7 p.m. with a networking hour. and there's also a couple of other bands playing. Some of my friends, the Spanish Channel and Eli Artist. And others, I mean, I'm everywhere on the internet. I'm on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. I have a very active YouTube profile. If some people are interested in seeing my music videos, just go ahead. And, there's a bunch of them. I have some official music videos on YouTube. Just enter my name. And also I had something for the listeners tonight. If they just want to message me on Facebook or email me and tell me that they were listening to the show, I'll send them a free MP3. So a free download of one of my songs. That way they can get it.
Well, I like anything free. That's fabulous.
Yeah, and if they come to the show Saturday, I'll give them a free CD. That's even better.
Look at that, Evan.
There you go. There you go. Well, Lily, we enjoyed your music throughout the show. We played everything that you sent, and you're reaching a worldwide audience tonight, and we wanted to thank you for such beautiful, beautiful music. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me.
Our pleasure. Our pleasure. And Carmen, I want to thank you as